The Virginia Tech mass murders, April the 16th, I believe, or 17th of '07. I do know that a lot of the names, like the fellow that they call Stack, and I've forgotten now the others, but these people were deliberately brought together, so they had to get those correct names in place. There had to be programming for them to meet there, to be there at the time the shooter shot them and then shot and appeared to kill himself. Well, he's dead. So it's the person or the agencies doing the programming. So I said for a long time that you can bring mass armies together, you can program them. But I've often wondered, and I don't know about this, about the suicide bombers, if you can have these shooters that they've programmed in the campus shootings, etc., shoot themselves and do all this other with mind control, you can certainly, this is how you would program someone to put a bomb on themselves and explode. I don't know that this is what happened in the ones I've said in the past. I know because of the patterns, but yesterday's bombings and killings in France, I don't know. The agency, first of all, it's the synchronicity and it bringing them together and all that. I don't know. There used to be the internet where they put it out and they'd have certain people. They didn't do that with mind control, but they had them come together and meet at a certain place. I've forgotten what they call it. They'd all show up at one spot in one place, and most of them didn't even know each other. So what I'm saying is an agency can have be programming a person to show up at the same time as other people that may not necessarily know each other. They show up and they go in and they do what they're commanded to do. They don't even know it. And I know that that's what's been used. That's what was used mind control when I was trying to write the book back in Atlanta when Larry Flint was shot. He was shot March the 6th of '78. But I had been putting the book together before then. Larry McDonald was a congressman doctor from Atlanta, Piedmont Hospital, and later, and I'm leaving out what they did to me, the hell that I've been put through, but Larry McDonald in '83, August the 31st of '83, the KAL, the Korean jetliner he was aboard, and all the passengers were shot down by the Russians because it veered into their airspace. And I've told for a long time that you can program the pilot. You can program him to take the plane into the side of the mountain, the ocean, or veer off into someone else's airspace. And there's so many ways to use mind control. It's unlimited. I'm going to go back before I finish this because I put so many up here. Bonnie Saylor, when I worked for the DA in Huntsville in '80, and I was living at the Barclay motel. It was kind of a cheap motel there in Huntsville, and I'm living out what had been done to me. But Bonnie Saylor was a woman who came to me there, and she said, "You work for the district attorney's office, don't you?" And I said, "Yes." You should see the mess that they had done to me, that they'd done to me, because I was trying to get the book published. So I was the last person. Just because I worked there didn't mean I could do anything. I would try, and did. It was all of this was about. But she told me, and it was true, that she had gone to the district attorney, she had gone to the churches, she had gone to all the agencies. This is NASA, Redstone Arsenal, Ballistic Command Center there, and all of it, Army Command Center there. So there's a lot there in Huntsville. But she told me that her husband, after she'd gone to all these agencies, she heard about me evidently, and she came and said that her husband, Sailor, and two others in a lab that was top security. They had top security and everything. That I don't know if they worked for the Space Center or for the government in at Redstone Arsenal, or they worked there. Well, it was products of the government, though, contract. And she said that they all three had top security clearances, and that they were, I think all three of them were ready to retire. They were in the same, evidently, lab. They were put under investigation, and suddenly she goes home. They were living in the trailer, and she said that she went home, and she found her husband with his, I don't know if his head was blown off, but he was in the bathtub, and the rifle, and somehow he had managed to shoot himself, supposedly anyway, and you can do anything you want to with mind control. You can pass it on to this one over here, and you can have this one over here, and they meet in the middle, and one doesn't know what the other's done. That's what could have happened. I don't know that it was, but yesterday. And how do you prove it? But anyway, in the Bonnie Sailor, the other victim in there suddenly developed cancer, and I've told about this. It's the tester files that were stolen. You can create or you can cure an illness, plain and simple. So he ran his car into, well, no. He died of a rare cancer. Suddenly developed it after being put under investigation and died. And the other fella ran his car into the Tennessee River and died. So then people's response, because they don't like to hear about it, and they call you names, and I'm almost afraid to put anything up. And I've got a lot of others, if anybody, videos that are free up there to go, and if you care to look at them, and Instagram, unless they shut me off, and all that, and Facebook. But anyway, you can look at it, because she came to me, and of course, she'd been there about it, and nobody would touch it. And when I tried to get someone to listen, they wouldn't, even the Baptist church there I went to on Whitesburg Drive. You know what he said? He said, you tell it to your district attorney you work for. I don't want to hear it.